Building Bridges project has been a step into history. For the first time, Australian Muslims and Jews have come together on the basis of genuine friendship and solidarity.
And we were approached to host the launching and signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the two organisations, and we were really pleased to do it, and for that reason we are pleased that you're all gathered here tonight.
One of the first practical steps was for both parties to sign a memo of understanding at the official launch. As a basis for better understanding, special education sessions were held for participants in both communities. After 8 months planning, Jews and Muslims enjoyed their first face-to-face encounter.
There's good intentions, good spirits, lots of food and drink in a beautiful atmosphere, and I think that, you know, it's the best starting point we can possibly have.
And it would be wonderful to learn how to respect and be with somebody who is quite different in the same space.
It's a great chance to, as you said, to open our hearts and get to know people who are not the people that I would usually meet.
I must say the time has finally come to hopefully build everlasting friendships and dispel the stereotypes and prejudices that exist within our community, and hopefully set an example not just to the Australian community but to the world community.
To learn more about the Muslim culture and to make new friends.
I'm here to make new friendships and hopefully to contribute to make a better understanding between two different communities.
How old are you? How old are you? 5.
I was going to say that I was here to meet you people and all that, but I'm just here for the food now because it sounds so good. I'm happy to be here and like meeting all of you in different places and to get together. Thank you.
Secondly, I'm here because I think life is very short, and I think the best thing that we can do is invest in relationships, and I think the time that's been allowed for this is a very special one.
The idea that you can be different and still live harmoniously together.
The reason why I wanted to come here is actually just to meet together, to wish families and actually hopefully get to know everyone in a more family level. Thank you.
I'm 17 years old and I'm meeting with my family and to make new friends.
Thank you.
And what better way to promote the development of friendships than with that great Australian tradition, getting together for a picnic and enjoying the outdoors.
I suppose that's been something that I've really wanted, during my involvement in attitude, it's been something that I've really wanted to try and seek out and reach out with other ethnic communities and just try to find out more about them and to try and learn more about those cultures that have also called Australia home.
I think what's important also for me is even to acknowledge that differences are okay.
The funniest thing that my understanding when I walked in, and I was given something that really shocked me, I heard something that really shocked me, where one person said to me, oh, we were a bit afraid of meeting Muslim people coming into this. And you know, I always had this impression that Muslims were afraid of mixing with Jewish people, you know.
Isn't that interesting?
So it was just totally the other way around.
Probably for the first time ever, an Australia Day picnic in the Fitzroy Gardens for Muslims and Jews. Focal points of the project included visits to a mosque.
I'm interested actually to see the design of it, whether it's fairly plain, whether it's got lots of decoration, how it's set out, and how it compares to what we know to be the general way that synagogues are set out.
Certainly a lot more insight into the closeness of the community once inside a mosque, and what kind of feeling that it generates, and its focus. It has a focal point.
I'll take it to the ablution area, which is a pre-prayer cleansing ritual, and then we'll move over to the inside of the mosque where our imam will explain to you the fundamental principles behind Islam. And throughout history, God has brought to word thousands of prophets, hundreds of thousands of prophets, and each one of these prophets has their place in the Quran. Further to that, obviously, God has also revealed many texts, be it the Bible, the Quran, and the Torah, and each one of those, again, has its place in the Quran. And the Quran also states that a person cannot be a Muslim if they deny any of the prophets that God sent or any of the books that was revealed to him.
Is it like how you expected?
It is. I mean, I guess partly, I've seen movies, so, it wasn't dissimilar from what I thought it would be. But I still found it really interesting that everyone does their own thing. Like, there are certain parts where, you're following the imam, and other parts where everyone's doing their own.
On behalf of the Jewish participants, I'd like to thank Imam Ramazan and his community for, first of all, inviting us here today to be able to actually see the mosque.
a synagogue and the Jewish Museum.
Yeah, my name's Fauzi, by the way. Well, I've never been in a synagogue before, so this is the first time, but I'm looking forward to it, and probably the feeling I've got is just like walking into anywhere where there's a religious atmosphere. You feel, at peace, and all of a sudden you feel more spiritual.
How thrilling it is, and what a privilege it is to be showing our Muslim friends around the Jewish Museum today, and particularly now this St Kilda Synagogue.
This is used by the reader when he actually sings. There's no vowels and there's no musical notes. So it's training, because the printed books have both the vowels and the musical notes. But it's an art form that takes a great deal of training and learning. In effect, you have to learn it virtually by heart.
Synagogue is from the Greek, meaning a meeting place of the people, right? Synergy, together, the people.
50 years later, the Babylonians were conquered by the Persians. The Persians, King Cyrus, allowed the Jews of Babylon to go back.
We've just had the opportunity to view several sections of the museum here in St Kilda, and we've just been through the section devoted to art and its interpretation by Islam, Christianity and Judaism.
Updated, the actual words are not changed, but just the way the texts are written today, as opposed to the Quran that was written 1,000 years ago.
I was actually quite amazed about the synagogue. There was so much in common.
It's spiritually, like you feel, I don't know how to explain that, but you feel the spiritual things there.
Well, I was fascinated when I walked into the synagogue. I actually had it gave me not a mystical feeling, but there was that feeling of you're in a place where you need to be almost in awe. It was a lot more decorated than what I thought. There was a lot of decoration there. And the other thing I found was there was a real feeling of you're in a place where you almost feel like you would like to be there in solitude, almost to be able to sit down and have a think about life in general and have a look around and take in what was there. It was great. I've never been in one before, and it was a good feeling.
The time for iftar has settled, so I invite Sheikh Mbia Isad to recite the Azhan, the call to prayer.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Another first, Jews sharing a Ramadan iftar dinner.
I'm very grateful for the invitation because it was an illuminating experience for me. I really enjoyed the cultural events and the explanation of the importance of Ramadan and the fasting process.
It really struck me when I come in. I was so happy to see some particular people haven't seen for a while. I thought, yes, they're my friends. I'm not choosing them because of their religion or despite their religion.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.